message of that, which is they hate me. They hate me to the point they're willing to kill me, which they are. They're willing to kill me, which they are. You're serving someone other than the people of Canada, if you know what I mean. Hard-edged fascism, actually. And frankly, I'm a little bit more comfortable with the old-fashioned variety. Get rid of these people and everything will be okay. Your creepy prime minister can put on the costumes of other cultures, but he doesn't really understand them.
My very first call this year was with Volodymyr Zelensky, who wanted to know that Canada still stood with him, that Canadians still stood with him. And I told him, yes, we do. The Canadian government and most of the parties in the House will continue to stand with him. But Pierre Poilievre and his Conservatives chose to vote against support for Ukraine, calling it a faraway foreign land to appease Putin apologists like Tucker Carlson and those who enable him. But while he does that, we have people like Yvonne Baker and Mark Gerritsen who are showing our Liberal government won't back down when it comes to standing up to bullies and fighting for democracy at home and around the world.
Yes, this is insane. So refusing to support Ukraine is because you want to appease to Putin apologies like Tucker Carlson. I don't get the point. Tucker Carlson's visit to Canada triggered a lot of these people. Libras are melting down, so criticizing them is not a problem. Which we all know, people don't watch news in Canada just because of people like these.
I mean, this goes beyond me and the fact that I was targeted last night at this event. This increases political violence against everyone who runs for office in this country, whether they're doing it at the municipal level, at the provincial level, or at the federal level. As my friend and colleague Randy said, like, we can have differences of opinion. We can bang our fist on the table when we meet. We can have strong disagreement. But to incite violence against people who disagree with you, that's not how things should be done in Canada.
Are you not contributing to the divide by coming out here and comparing Poilievre to this and making this about him? Are you not contributing to the divide by doing that? If your government has been accused,
we're not comparing Poilievre to him. I think what
you're not. Have you looked at your own advertising from
Mr.
your party?
What Mr. Rodriguez just said is he said I'm asking Pierre Poilievre, the leader of the opposition, to condemn those hateful and violent statement by Tucker Carlson.
Since they don't watch news in Canada, Tucker Carlson decided to have a tour in Canada. What they could not watch, they will see it live, and they are not extremely happy. When you take a look at the population that came out to watch Tucker Carlson, it should tell you people really want to get this information, but they are blocked. I think this is the best way to do it. Tucker Carlson started, you will see a lot of people, doing this, calling them out. Now they want to attribute Tucker Carlson's visit like he wanted to incite violence. What type of violence? When you watch that speech, you will not see anything in it that relates to violence. What I see was just exposing their deed. That was all.
Tucker Carlson in Canada. Yikes.
I know that in Canada it's official policy that coming out of the closet is good. Unless you're the Prime Minister. Unleashed in Canada! They literally say diversity is our strength before they open the game. Okay, what does that mean and why is it true? Shut up! No, I'm not gonna shut up. Shut up, racist! No, not going to. Not racist, I'm not gonna shut up. Message is, you are bad. I watched when Montreal was cleansed of its Anglo legacy. If they're taking away your voting power by changing the population of your country, which they are doing, and no one wants to talk about that, shut up, racist! That's not racist. Subsidizing the media to the point where all of your big media outlets, which are disgusting, are state media. You should internalize the message of that, which is they hate me. They hate me to the point they're willing to kill me, which they are. they're willing to kill me, which they are. You're serving someone other than the people of Canada, if you know what I mean. Hard-edged fascism, actually. And frankly, I'm a little bit more comfortable with the old-fashioned variety. Get rid of these people and everything will be okay.
Hi, I'm Canadian. We're not allowed to watch the news here, so I had to bring in an actual reporter so I could find out what's going on in the world. Hey, I'm Canadian. I don't actually have access to any kind of supplementations or vitamins, but I can easily get crack cocaine or methamphetamine, no problem. Hey, I'm Canadian. In Justin Trudeau's communist regime, he formed an NDP socialist coalition so that even if you wanted to change the government, you can.
Sounds like democracy.
Hey, I'm Canadian. I actually have a really good high-paying job, but because my government has printed money into inflation, I'm gonna have ice cube sandwiches for dinner. Hey, I'm Canadian. Don't even think about interviewing one of our high-ranking officials because they'll actually throw you in prison.
Before Tucker Carlson's speech, something happened. Judge rebuked Trudeau for not justifying use of Emergency Act to break convoy. If you have been following my channel for some time, you realize I did a lot of videos during that period of the Tucker convoy. Going down this article recently published by The Guardian, a Canadian court has ruled that Justin Trudeau government was not justified when it used sweeping powers to break up what the Prime Minister called illegal and dangerous protests blockade across the country 2 years ago. A federal court found on Tuesday the government invocations of the Emergency Act in response to the so-called Freedom Convoy protest was not justified in relation to the relevant factual and legal constraints that were required to be taken into consideration. In his decision, Justice Richard wrote that the move was unreasonable and led to infringement of Canada's Charter of Rights and Freedom. In February 2022, Tucker and their supporters occupied Ottawa, the Canadian capital, for nearly a month in protest over public health orders related to the COVID pandemic. Protesters also blockaded key border crossings with the U.S. Trudeau responded by invoking the 1988 Emergency Act for the first time in Canada history, granting the federal government sweeping powers, including the ability to ban gathering at certain locations and stop crowdfunding efforts to support the protests. The Prime Minister said the measure would be time-limited and only apply to specific geographical regions. We are not preventing the right of people to protest legally, he said, adding that the military will not be deployed. The act is to be used springly and a last resort. So you can see exactly what happened. Justin Trudeau's decision to bring out this Emergency Act was insane. I saw a lot of people arrested, some are even in prison, some are in court. So they should be able now to, release all these people. Those facing court issues, everything should be terminated because it is insane.
Man of advanced age from a continental European background.
Davos is protecting liberal democracy.
You had the World Economic Forum in Davos just playing out in the last week or so, right? Yeah. That old world vision is rearing its head again that says the people cannot be trusted to self-govern. They'll ruin themselves, right?
Businesses, hostile takeovers. They like to be around the guys who influence foreign governments.